Hey, Michael here from Beer Baseball Blog, the adventures of craft beer and baseball. We thank you again for joining us for the Beer Baseball Blogcast. It's been a tremendous response. You guys have really come out. Guys and girls, join us live here Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Up front, I have an ask of all of my watchers. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Go to Facebook, give us a like. If you're out there and you're seeing us live, please chime in the comments. We'd love to hear you and hear your feedback. We love doing this every week. As always, the lineup card. Let me share the deck. It is episode 4. It is May 26, 2020. We really can't tell you how much we've appreciated your feedback and your response so far. The lineup card is the same as always. We have a little variance, and we're so happy to have Angelo Trinidad. Fun fact, was in attendance for Albert Pujols' 600th home run. I actually have video of it if I could figure out how to play it, but I don't think I can share the screen, but I will put that up there eventually. How you doing, Angelo?
I'm well, Michael. How are you?
Fantastic. And who are you? What are you wearing today?
Who
are you wearing today?
Yeah, I'm representing the Angels retro style gray and red hat, and from Baseballism, my 643 6 + 4 + 3 = 2 double play shirt. So one of my favorite shirts, actually.
That's awesome, and that looks like a very old Angels hat as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a retro style Angels hat, and it's quite comfortable as you guys all know with aged headwear.
And Kevin Lyon, a fun fact, once hit Fred Lynn's wife in the head with a bat at a baseball card show.
Shame on you, Kevin.
And you know, it
really was.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound as brutal, but it's pretty funny. Can you go through that, Kevin?
Sure, real quick. So I was at a card show in San Diego. I had a baseball bat getting signed by numerous players. I'm like, Fred Lynn, he was a great player. Let me have him sign this. And I put on the table, and his wife's sitting next to Fred, and he's getting ready to sign it, and she's sitting next to her. She bends over and goes, "Oh wow, who signed that bat?" And as she says that, I pick up the bat, and you hear it sounded like a bat hitting a ball. And then they go, the ding, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And Fred Lynn just looks at me and goes, "Well, that's all right. You just hit my wife in the face with a baseball bat."
No, you hit her in the face and not the head.
The forehead.
Oh, Kevin.
That's what I mean. It was like a bing, like it sounded like a ball hit the bat.
Oh,
you could hear a sound, and I'm just like, yeah.
I can never, whenever I see Fred Lynn, that's all I can think about. Is that not the fact that he's the only player to hit a grand slam in the All-Star game? Not that.
1983, by the way, Comiskey Park off, I believe, Lamar Hoyt.
Look at you.
I was an Angels fan then, obviously. You know, my Angels hat today is it's a later logo of what he has, and then I represent the San Jose Giants, the Churros, famous for their churros. So they made this special shirt for honoring the Churro Man.
Nice.
Very important part of the ballpark experience is the Churro Man.
Definitely in San Jose for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And they also have Strike Brewing, which we will talk about coming up here in some other episodes. I am Michael Mondragon. A fun fact about me is I was at the game that Fernando Tatis Sr. hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning off Chanho Park. Wow. A major league record, also a major league record for most RBIs in an inning. And I'm sure there's another one in there too that I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but that was my first Dodger game in 1999. That actually happened in April.
I remember when I went to Cooperstown a few years ago, I sent you a photo because they had, I think it was the bat on display. I was like, oh my God, I got to send this to Michael because I knew you were there. I was like, it's just such an insane moment in baseball.
Yes, absolutely. And it was weird. I thought all games were like that at Dodger Stadium. We're going to see history every night. But alas, no, that's not true. Want to give a shout out to the All Angels podcast. Thank you for joining. Halo Haven. We enjoy all of their social media and the things that they're doing.
I'm subscribed to that All Angels podcast. There you go.
Yeah, and we love promoting them, and they promote us too. So we thank you so much for that. All right, and this is the part that I know I'm personally really excited about because I get to have my first sip.
Oh yeah,
Angelo, Trinidad, what are you drinking?
So this evening I am drinking from Latitude 33, their Cold Craft Light Lager. So I shared this with you guys before we went on air, but my wife and I are currently on a keto diet. And when I was in search of some low-carb beers at Ralph's, they actually have a small section carved out in the cooler with low-carb options. So I saw this. This one caught my eye. Again, a light lager. So again, my usual go-to, especially on a warm day like today. But this is a 4.2 alcohol volume. No IBU listed, but it's a light brew, so I would assume it's relatively low. And they're based out of Vista, California, which is in North County, San Diego, and I actually used to live in Oceanside, so I thought it'd be fitting that I support another local brewery. Right. And it's actually very crisp and refreshing. So
very cool. Yeah, I've had some of their other beers, but not that one specifically. So I'll definitely stay on the lookout for that. Kevin Lyon.
Yes, sir.
What are you drinking tonight?
Open.
All right.
No. This is Perky Blonde by Resident Brewing out of San Diego. I partook in a virtual beer festival over the weekend that was run by a company called Rockstar Beer, and this is one of the beers in there, and it's 10 beers in there, so I'm like, I can't get through 10 beers in one night, you know? So I saved this one because it's in San Diego. It's about a mile from Petco Park, and Michael and I actually walked over there one day after we went to a game in, I want to say 2017. So let me try this. This is a blonde ale that's 5.2%. So this would be right in your wheelhouse, Angelo. Let me see.
Awesome. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, we went over there after a Padres Cardinals game, and it was the one that you almost got smoked by a foul ball, but I picked it up, and I was my first foul ball ever. I almost killed you, but I was happy to get it.
That's awesome.
I didn't die. You got it. And who hit that ball again?
Harrison Bader.
Yeah, thank you. I want to make sure I was right on that.
And when we went to Resident Brewing, see, we went after the game. So Resident Brewing was just north of the Petco Park. They have a very special bathroom.
Photo.
Yeah. What is it that their restroom is?
I walked in and I'm looking around, and I had to come out to you and just say, Michael, whether you have to go to the bathroom or not, you need to go to the men's room right now. You walk in, and the wallpaper is all 1980s World Wrestling Federation guys.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Like it was like Junkyard Dog. Oh God, it was like
King Kong Bundy.
Pure 80s. I'm just looking going.
Yeah.
Walk around like, this is really bizarre. And I also wanted to ask the guys, like, can I go in the women's restroom? Because I was wondering if it's like I thought that would have been very appropriate.
It would be amazing if it was all women wrestlers.
That's what I was hoping. That would have been amazing.
What a neat little Easter egg. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great Easter egg. And we didn't actually try this that night. So I was like, oh, this is cool. I get to try something different from Resident. And this is nice. This is especially on this warm day.
Yeah. Definitely. I love finding stuff like that because like when I went to go see the Iowa Cubs, there's a place just north of there. And then they have an outside where it's all a bit like a beer garden. You really have no reason to go inside. But I went inside, and they had this complete wrestling shrine, like this huge Ric Flair, like almost like huge shrine. And I'll have to get a picture of it because it was absolutely like really, really cool. And I would have totally missed it had I not had to go to the restroom. So a lot of cool restroom stuff.
Very cool. And, if you're even by Petco, there's other breweries close by. Like, there's literally a Stone, like, right there by the entrance. And one I really like is called Half Door. That's, like a block or two away from Petco. So, as always, San Diego's such a great beer town.
Yeah, and we could talk. We should have just a whole show on San Diego. And the mission and, we could just go on for days and days.
Exactly. What are you drinking?
All right. I actually have a beer from Made West Brewing. This is the Made West IPA. It is 6.9 ABV. 55 IBU. It's really super hoppy. It's actually more like a West Coast IPA, and just like a light malt to it, which is really good. And I actually meant to. Where are they out of? Oh, it actually has Citra, Eldorado, Equinot, and Eureka hops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they're actually, oh gosh, I totally forgot where they're out of, but I want to say they're like by Thousand Oaks or something like that. I hope I'm right on that. But I'll put it in there. But I will have my first sip now. Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, cheers. Glad to be here this week.
And I'm representing the Hartford Yard Goats and the Savannah Bananas, which is an independent team from Savannah, Georgia, which we will actually talk about later. Definitely want to give a shout out to Robert Reimer, who jumped in. Thank you so much for joining us. And everybody else who's there, please let us know in the comments. Say hi or ask a question. We'd love to interact with you.
Michael, I will tell you that I'm seeing here a location in Ventura for Made West.
Ventura, yes. I wasn't sure if I was right on that.
Close enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Is your senior research analyst?
Yes.
Analyst?
Yes, I forget. I should be putting those titles below your names, by the way.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's jump into the baseball news. There's, I was going to say obviously there's a lot of news going on, but actually there's a big stalemate. But MLB plans to offer alternative proposal to players on salaries. According to Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich of The Athletic, much of the talk between MLB and the union has been economics. Now this could be like we could dig a hole with this about talking about like what it's going to take, and I think we've talked about it. We've covered it a lot in some of the other discussions that we had. I saw this from Bill Shaken. He's from the LA Times. So the Major League Baseball and the Players Association are far apart on salary issues, which we pretty much expected. But the health and safety protocol as well, which is not going to be as defined depending on where you play. So that being said, I think the discussion should be who has the most to gain and the most to lose in this. Is it the players? Is it the league? Is it minor league baseball? Or the fans, young and old. Angelo, who do you think stands to gain the most or lose the most?
Yeah, so I think my stance, obviously, who gains the most is going to be the leagues, right? A lot of this is economical driven. A lot of it's financially driven. Doesn't necessarily surprise me that the MLBPA and the MLB are far apart in both the way salaries are going to be negotiated as well as safety protocols, because it's easy for the league to say, hey, these are the precautions we're going to take, but they're not going to be the ones out there risking their health and their well-being and the health and well-being of their family and loved ones, or being isolated from their family or loved ones for the duration of the season if they are going to do these in isolated locations. So MLB definitely has the most to gain. And my perspective with the most to lose is the fans. Ultimately, while the players are going to want to play and they can't come to agreement, if the league wants to move on, but they can't come to an agreement, it's really us, the fans, that have the most to lose from this, from an entertainment value standpoint, and just especially you see all these things kind of it's unknown what that new normal is going to be. So baseball season starting is going to bring back that sense of some of that normalcy back to our lives. And for that not to take place, it's going to be an interesting time. And kind of something that, we haven't, really experienced, in quite some time. And that's with any type of major sport. So most to gain, the league from a financial standpoint, advertising dollars, business dollars, etc. Most to lose is going to be the fans for sure.
Absolutely. Kevin, what's your thoughts?
I would almost just say the game as a whole is the most to lose because, you can look back at 1994. Look what a season not happening occurred. It took, a home run derby 4 years later for people even to care about baseball. It was so people were just so mad. And, granted, people are going to blame the players, people are going to blame baseball, but regardless, no matter what the result was no baseball. And no baseball is not good for the game no matter what. And the players, I totally respect the players for standing for their rights because, you know what? Their health and safety is what's most important. I mean, as he's talking, I'm thinking about what about these guys who work at the stadiums? I'm like, are they under a union? They're not going to, who knows how much choice they have? The guys who have to work the fields, they're going to be directly involved in all this too. Like maybe like the announcer and all that, they're going to be away from the press box. They may be a safer situation. But, you got the guys who are dragging the field and groundskeeping. They're right there with the players too, so they could be at risk. But gosh, if there's no season, I don't know. Most of the game owners, most lose. I could argue that minor league too because minor league is the one who doesn't have the income coming in. They're going to have the least amount of income. There's still going to be some souvenirs bought. There's going to be merchandise bought of players and teams still. Sure, it's going to be reduced, but as we discussed previously, that is almost the main income for these minor league teams. That's why they've gone so for having a great logo and going for a good mascot because that merchandise is their key. It's not attendance,
Yeah.
About them playing out, the only exposure just, internet, I guess, just social media is like their biggest impact right now.
Yeah, I thought about when I was thinking about this question. I try to look at both sides of it for all of these involved. Ultimately, I think the biggest loser is definitely the fans. I think the fans are already kind of losing only because baseball is, at least here in LA, like you can't even watch the Dodgers. And I don't think that they're making stars. I try to think about, I'm obviously older, so I'm trying to think of what a young fan, why they would even watch.
Right.
And again, it's like it's the kids asking the parents to go because they're the ones that have to foot the bill. And I feel like baseball has kind of gotten old in its fan base. Like we're super passionate about it, but I don't see a lot of kids super passionate about baseball. Then I started thinking, the players have a lot to gain right now. They have a lot of leverage right now within this whole thing. Baseball has a lot of leverage because, they control the purse strings.
Yeah.
I think a big loser in this is going to be minor league baseball. I don't know how they can't be. They really got to a point where they, a lot of them were seen as profitable. But they still have, 42, 43 teams that are still on the chopping block.
Yeah, and that's before all this. That's before there's no baseball.
Yeah,
so I can only imagine what these people are doing because I don't know how much help they're getting. I don't know if all those people are on furlough. The only thing I heard of was it was the Angels who put some of their minor league staff on furlough at this point.
Yeah, and I just saw, I think the Dodgers cut salaries for any person that made over like $75,000 a year, and so all these things are going to affect. But we were talking about something that's separate from baseball. There was a concert that was supposed to be here called Cruel World, and it was headlined by like Morrissey and a whole bunch of like big, huge bands. It was a big festival, and they actually postponed it.
Tears up my face because I was so excited for that.
Yeah, we were all looking forward to this. Not only did it get postponed, but it finally got canceled today. So, that was a big deal because we thought that it was pretty much going to be, if it was postponed, it would at least happen. So then we started, another friend of mine started talking about what it's going to take to get attendance back. And they're going to say, okay, so what if it's half attendance, right? So they can maintain distancing. I can see the owners actually charging twice because it's a premium ticket, right? Yep. So it's like, are they losing money? Who knows? So,
there's going to be demand. That's the thing. There will be a demand when it first comes back. And then it's going to have to be MLB and the players to sustain that,
Yep. Matt, a watcher of our show, and thank you for joining, Matt. We really appreciate it coming in. He's right. It's a different time to be a fan as well. kids have so much more technology, and in fact, there's a great picture that I like to say about that, where there's I think it was during spring training, where a father or an adult is blocking a kid from being hit with a bat that was thrown into the stands on a swing, and he was on his device looking down. So it's like there's so many more distractions. I actually went to a World Series game where a kid in front of me played his video game the whole time. So I can imagine watching a World Series game and being that young and impressionable. But there's a lot of distractions.
Well, who knows how much media kids are even watching these days? You know what I mean? Like television, they're not watching as much television as like we were, obviously. And now there's so much more content, not just in sports, but just in general compared to when we all grew up, and even compared to like the 90s, even the 2000s now, it's great. All it used to be like, oh, gotta go the Angels and that's it. Now it's like, not.
I mean, I grew up in Phoenix, so we didn't have an in-town baseball team. So like we would get literally on Saturdays was game of the week. So whatever game that was, Vin Scully, Joe Garagiola would be doing the game of the week. So that's when I saw the Dodgers. It's when I happened to see the Cardinals. That was my favorite team at the time. At that very impressionable age. If the teams weren't good, they weren't on TV. So I wasn't going to see the Toronto Blue Jays. It was like, oh my God, like the Toronto Blue Jays or the Montreal Expos. It was like that was like almost so foreign to me. It was just like a concept. Thank you for that very that great insight. And so let's go into something that's actually really cool. Angelo turned me on to this. It's the ultimate alternative ballpark use. Rent out the Blue Wahoos. They're from Pensacola, Florida, I believe, and for $1,500 a night, you can have run of the stadium for a night. Now, Angelo, I know that we could get together some people that could get up that money. We'd put in our tin cans and save our pennies to do something like this.
And to verify, it's 10 people. Up to 10.
So 10 people. We can easily get 10 people.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
$50 a pop. The flight getting to Pensacola is going to cost more than that,
Absolutely. Well, at 10 people, that's $150 a person. So it's definitely going to cost more to get there. But, I mean, that's, really cool experience. I mean, and I think some of the discussions that we had around is like, hey, there's got to be stadiums closer to us that are going to kind of follow suit with this.
Come on, Empire. Yeah. Come on.
And that's going to be for like $100 a night.
Oh, so, whoa. Don't you talk by 66ers.
Yeah. But, I love the 66ers. I just don't know. But, it's definitely an interesting way for, particularly these minor league clubs to drive some incremental revenue. You think about, what the potential gate looks like on an average night of attendance, depending on their capacity. $1,500 is going to be, more money that's coming in supplementally than not. So, I mean, I think this is a great idea, and it's good for the club. It's good for fans to get that, once in a lifetime type of experience. So, is that a picture of the inside of the clubhouse? That's awesome.
So no, it's super cool.
Because this is AA, right?
I believe so. It might even be single A.
There's the Florida League. I know there always is a Florida League for single A, but I thought when I read in this, Pensacola was in the Southern League, which would be AA.
The All Angels podcast actually says, don't know if I want to spend the night in San Bernardino, which is a fair point.
It is. I parked behind the stadium on the street, and I'm like, I'm walking past this place called the Branding Iron. I'm like, oh gosh, hopefully my car's safe. All Angels
podcast says AA for the Twins. So
Thank you.
that'd be so fun. Thanks for that. I think we can get that together, right?
Yeah, I think we gotta at least make an effort to do that.
Yeah. Or put the pressure on one of these teams. Hey, we have $1,500.
We're the ones in a nicer neighborhood than San Bernardino. Not that that's saying much, but,
Yeah.
Right.
Because Lake Elsinore one is you go a little north, you go a little bit away from that stadium. It's a little shady too.
Well, we would be we'd be playing
Let's
baseball
set up
just for a
California
night.
League. Let's set up the California League B&B Airbnb tour. Let's do
That'd be
that.
fantastic. Definitely. Something to look forward to.
There you go.
All right. So this week in baseball history, another popular segment that we get to show some pretty fun stuff here. Kevin, who is this?
I'm gonna feel like a jerk for not knowing this. Against the fun. Who is it? Tell me, and then I'll feel like a numbskull. Shall we jerk the bum? Well, bum will make me think it's something. Is it something Brooklyn related?
No, it's I'll give you a hint. Chicago White Sox. Eddie Goodell.
What? Oh, it's Eddie Goodell?
No, that's not Eddie Goodell. Come on.
I'm like, way too big to be Eddie Goodell.
It's
It's Bill Veeck. Sorry, it's Bill Veeck.
Bill Veeck, yes. And
I'm not gonna know him by sight. Sorry, sir.
And if the sign behind him, he used to come up with these really crazy promotions for the White Sox. In fact, he let the fans hold up signs to take pictures out. He was most famous for the Eddie Goodell putting the mini up to bat who walked. This is for the St. Louis Browns. His son actually did Disco Demolition, which was super crazy. And we'll definitely go into the history of this and some other of the stunts that he did.
Well, that came up in our first week trivia question because that ended up being a game that was forfeited.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So going back to this, Eddie Goodell, 3'7", the shortest person to ever bat in the major leagues. Walked on 4 pitches, as you can well imagine. But he did actually make another appearance, which I actually did not know. I knew of this, but I didn't know that he made another appearance, although you probably wouldn't know it's him. In another one of Bill Veeck's stunts, Eddie Goodell returns to the Major League field along with 3 other little people, arriving in a helicopter, no less, dressed as Martians. The quartet shakes hands with Nellie Fox and Luis Aparicio. And if you can see Luis Aparicio down there, he's not much bigger than one of the Martians, which is amazing. And they gave him toy guns. And this was on May 26, 1959.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
And so, like, to think about this, and the public address announcer informs the crowd that the extraterrestrials have arrived to help the somewhat short Keystone Combo in their struggle against giant Earthlings. This would never happen today. Not a chance.
And Luis Aparicio is a Hall of Famer, and I don't know if Nellie Fox made the Hall of Fame, but he was close to getting in by at some point. I don't look at, but Nellie was a great player too.
Yeah, and it's one of the stunts that Bill Veeck, he's not. I mean, this was probably lower. Obviously, the Eddie Goodell one is like the big one, and the other ones. There's tons of other ones that he's done, but I thought this was really great, and it happened today, in 1959. So I really had to make mention of it.
Thank you.
My second one is one that's a little bit more current, although it was in the 90s, but it is an awesome one. By the way, this is my Eddie Goodell bobblehead that Kevin Lyon gave to me for Christmas. St. Louis Browns. I cherish it greatly, so I wanted to share that as well.
I was so excited I found that for you. So
Carlos Martinez hits a fly ball to Jose Canseco that caroms off the heads of the Rangers outfielder. Off his head for a home run. The 4th inning solo homer proves to be the difference in the game as the Indians edge Texas at Cleveland Stadium 7-6. May 26th. Oh, I have it in 1959, but it's actually 1993, or I believe I typo there.
Today. That's all. You forgot to change the date from the last one.
Yeah.
Did you know Mr. Jose Canseco?
I do. And the reason why I know him, he actually worked out at the gym when I lived in Encino, California. And he used to come in at 10 o'clock every night. I used to go late because no one was there. And he actually was with his brother, Ozzie Canseco, which I marked out humongous for Ozzie Canseco. Now, Jose Canseco, of course. Jose Canseco, of course. But the fact that Ozzy was with him is amazing. And Ozzy played for the St. Louis Cardinals, by the way. And
Okay.
so that was I was like, oh my gosh. So he was impressed that I actually knew that. I was going. We were going to have a guest who's going to be on next week, which I will. We might or might not reveal this to him. But I almost had Jose Canseco come to one of our Pro Wrestling Guerrilla shows. That would have been amazing. And Frankie Kazarian said that he would drop the title to him if he showed up. So there's that. And
then Jose Canseco actually did a mixed martial art fight in Japan a few years after that. You can look that one up on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And did he do the celebrity boxing as well? I think.
Maybe, but I don't recall. I just remember he fought. Gosh, I think the guy's name was. I can't remember the fighter's name, but he's like a near 7 foot tall fighter.
Oh, I seem to remember that too.
Yes.
So the man who hit the ball was Carlos Martinez.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is his son, Jose Martinez, who played for the St. Louis Cardinals, now plays for the Tampa Bay Rays. Ironically enough, Jose Martinez actually played with a player, Carlos Martinez, the same as his dad. So go figure that out. So
Good time.
it was very funny because I went to a San Diego Padres game, and Jose Martinez was batting, and we just got to chit-chatting, and I said, like, oh, did you ever see the play where Jose Canseco, it bounced off his head for a home run? Had no knowledge of this. Had no knowledge that this had happened, which was more amazing to me. But I was going to tell him that was his son that played, and little did I know that Carlos Martinez.
You know what's actually really funny about this picture is that they didn't even bother putting the first initial on their jerseys. It's literally just Martinez and Martinez. Yeah. Usually, if you guys the same last name, they at least put like a C or a J.
Yeah. C period, J period. Right, you're absolutely right.
That's weird.
I remember what was the one? It was when Reggie Jackson was playing. Was it Ron Jackson? They put Ron Jackson.
I think it was R.O. not Jackson. I think it's
they put the whole thing. You're absolutely right. You don't see that enough.
It was just R.O. I don't remember. Vaguely, I want to say I know I'm almost positive it was R.O. Jackson, and then Reggie might have gotten R.E., but I don't recall for sure. Look at the All Angels podcast. You might be able to tell me in a matter of moments here. Believe me, that's when I was going to games all the time. Good old Ron Jackson.
a bit of a sidebar. When do we see the first 3-digit number? You know it's coming.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Who's going to be arrogant enough to have the first 3-digit number?
I hope it's like 001 or something like that.
Well, they're 99.
007. We need a guy with the last name Bond, and they put 007.
That would be tremendous.
There you go.
That would be tremendous. All right.
Oh.
So another favorite. Baseball card pack wars.
Angelo, I'm sorry you couldn't win while I wasn't here last week, but I'm ready. Come on.
And thanks to everyone in the chat with all the positive comments. Daily Sports Talk. Thank you so much, Robert Reimer. Thank you for joining in. Now this is we get our baseball cards from HOFBC, Hall of Fame Baseball Cards in Arcadia, California. They're super great to us. Card Shop Eric was on our show last week. We're definitely going to get him back on at some point. We have the Topps 2020 Series 1 Baseball, and we have Opening Day, there was no Opening Day this year.
We're waiting.
At least not yet. 2020, which has 7 cards. This one has 14. Let's start with 2020 Baseball Series 1. Let me go through the rules really quickly here. We're going to open your pack. A relic card knocks out one participant, so there's usually like a little relic. If you don't know what a relic is, a little piece of jersey or something like that. If there's one of those cards, the person that has it gets to knock out one person. If there's an autograph, you automatically win the round, knocked out both people. After all packs are open, no relics, no autograph, highest number card wins. And I hate to do this, Angelo. But I'm going to show the standings. But Angelo, look where I'm at. Kevin actually goes to the first with a 6-4 record.
I wasn't here last week, and I almost lost my first place.
Our guest is beating both of us. We need. Now I'm in double-digit losses, so you're not that far behind me. You could probably pull ahead with me. Let me change the screen here.
This is like
All
the
right.
88. This is the 88 Orioles right now for Angelo. Hopefully,
And,
then
you,
there's
and,
Oh,
and,
God.
and at that 214 average, just slightly above Michael Jordan's batting average with the Birmingham Barons at 202.
Ouch.
So,
Angelo, you may go first.
okay, let's see. All right, so Daniel Murphy, Bobby Bradley, Andrew Haney, nice action shot there. AJ Puck or Puke,
Puke.
Gavin
He's
Lux,
gonna puke. Looks.
Ryan Yarbrough, Lewis Brinson, Zach Collins, Matt Carpenter, Craig Kimbrell. Get ready to drink up. Milwaukee Brewers team card. Does that
Milwaukee Brewers.
Does that mean we take a drink? Does that mean
We're
we
not
take a drink
Brewers.
for all 8 people?
Oh God! All 9 positions.
Cheers.
That's the one thing I did leave out. I have to put those in the rules. Milwaukee Brewers. We all drink.
So this is a nice. I
Get
don't
ready.
know if you can see it, but it's a die cut.
Oh.
Oh,
Hank
right
Aaron.
on.
Oh, wow. Look at that. We haven't got one of those yet, I don't think. have
Yeah.
we?
No,
Nice.
this is the first one. So this is really cool. Runs created 1960. And runs created is an ideal metric to measure Aaron's myriad contributions, since its complicated formula accounts for almost every offensive statistic. He paired 375 homers with 204 steals in 1960, which combined with many other numbers resulted in a decade-high RC figure of 1250. Hank's total edge Frank Robinson's 1206. So that's a really, really cool one.
Nice.
Yeah, Mike Trout.
There you go.
I've heard of that guy.
And time to drink up.
Oh,
Brandon
no.
Woodruff.
Wow.
Here's
Two
the worst
Brewers.
part. Because I drank 9 times for that last one or whatever. It's already empty. I'm already on my backup.
Wow, look at you.
All right. Hey, I actually had to work today. So, Oh, sorry. I'm on assignment. So,
All right, so that's all your cards, Angelo?
That's it.
All right, so look up your high card in the background. Well, Kevin Lyon, you're up.
yes, sir. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's do the thing. All right. Let's see. I got Hector. Oh, whoa. I got cards flying. Sorry. I haven't done this in a couple weeks. Oh, I haven't done this in a couple weeks. Neris.
There you
Hector
go.
Neris. Kyle Swaba. Let's see. Hang on. Never
No,
mind.
don't say it.
Never
Don't say
mind.
it.
Never mind. Never mind. That
Never mind.
I don't like that. It was a brewer. Don't worry. I'm saving the drinks at the end. Aaron Nola. CJ Crone, the Crone Zone, former
There we
Angel.
go.
I went to his last game as an Angel. He played in New York City against the Mets. He had a grand slam home run and he got demoted the next day. So it was really a shame here. Oh, here we go. A guy who has had a lot to say lately, Mr. Trevor Bauer.
Mhm.
Yep.
Melky Cabrera. Sorry, I'm really not doing good this day.
Okay.
Marwin Gonzalez. Let's see here. Anibal Sanchez from your world champion. I almost said the Washington Generals. Oh my goodness, they never win.
They never win.
That's it.
Arthur Dozier from the Royals. Dustin May from the Doyers. Tyler White from the Doyers. And dun 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 dun.
Oh! Now, that is awesome. So, Relic, that's the first time anybody's ever got a Relic.
This is David Dahl. Congratulations, you have just received a Major League Material card from 2020 Topps Baseball Cards Series 1. God,
That's awesome.
can I eliminate the guest?
Wow.
Can I throw out the guest of this?
I think that
I put myself out.
I mean, but then okay, so depending
Yes.
on who you knock out,
I know. It's
yeah.
no
So
fun.
if I have a relic,
I know. Then what?
yeah. So well then I would tie you, but then I could knock out. I can knock.
This is. Uh-oh. I just lost you there. Uh-oh. Am I disconnected?
No, I can hear you, Kevin.
Okay. Yeah. Michael froze up on me.
Yeah,
As
Michael froze up.
Did I just throw him out of the whole video? Did I just throw you out of the whole video shoot with my
Yeah,
David?
you're only supposed to throw him out of the game, not the
I
entire
didn't
video.
throw him out of the show. Uh-oh. I threw the host out of the show. All right. Well, since I threw Michael out of the card game. All right, Angelo, why don't you go to the let's go to opening day, Angelo. Why don't you open the opening day card?
All right, let's
Well,
go
Michael
opening
was
day.
frozen at time. I didn't realize I put a spell on him.
Well, if you threw him out, let's do the high card so we can determine what was your high card.
I'll hear from him in a matter of moments here because I was like, wow, we froze the host.
Mine was 292.
Oh, it's wow, it is literally just you and me now. So you had 292. All right. And is that from
That's from the top series one.
Okay, so go ahead and let's go to the opening day packs. It's just you and me since
you booted him out, but what's your high
sorry.
card?
I thought that's an automatic win.
No, the autograph is an autograph.
You on top of this?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. What'd you say your high card was?
292.
Why I see Tyler White 323, so first
right.
card I pull out, I'm like, yeah, sorry. This is a magical back here. Thank you, David Dahl. David Dahl just ruined our our entire show because now
he just shut it down.
Sorry.
So I got Jeff McNeil.
Yes, sir. Wow, I'm so waiting to hear from Michael here. Go ahead.
Hunter Dozier. Another Gavin Lux. Nolan Arenado. Mike Yastrzemski. Luis Castillo, and opening day Nationals Ballpark.
All right, the world champions, who might be, defending champions 2021 at this rate. We'll see. All right, well, let me go on to my opening day here. Let's see here what we got. See, this will be the funny thing. You're going to beat me. You're going to win now. That's just you and I against each other. All right, I got Ramon Laurano. I can't pronounce the last name. I'm sorry. Oh, it's All-Star for the Angels, Tommy La Stella.
Awesome.
All right, I got here Nico Horner. I'm not sure how his name's pronounced. This guy must have come up late. I don't recognize his name here. All right, here we go. Son of a Hall of Famer, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Let's see, we got from the Orioles, Jonathan Villar. And Jorge Alfaro from the Marlins. And my opening day is the Philadelphia Phillies. All right, so let's see what high card number do you got, Angelo? Did you look yet?
I got 125.
All right, I see 122 is my highest so far, and 122 is my highest. Angelo, you won.
And I finally got a W.
Yeah,
not really. We got to wait for Mike to open his pack now.
Oh, no, he's out. Remember? He's out.
Yeah.
Fuera. Is it out of the whole?
No, I think you can only kick him out of that round, right? Or is it the whole
It's the round of the whole day.
Not the whole day.
I kicked you out of everything. I kicked you out of your own show, son.
You kicked me off my Wi-Fi is what you did.
Thank you, David Dahl.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
opening day pack. Since you were out of the 2020.
All right, perfect. Okay, so that worked out. So
yeah, I took one, son. You're welcome.
Robert Reimer says, "Nice job, Angelo." I will agree, even though I didn't say that. Yeah, and thank you for welcoming me back as well. All right, so 2020. All right, I'll do this quickly.
I'm gonna be like this here.
All right,
this
guy, David Dahl. Yeah, F him. And by the way, David Dahl immune compromised.
Oh,
he is. He's one of the guys that's immune compromised.
Oh wow. You had to get serious on us. Why?
Yeah, exactly. Aaron Nola, J.D. Davis, Mr. Kate Upton.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yadier Molina, Mitch Garver, and Washington Nationals ballpark.
I think you just got that one, right, Angelo?
I did get that
Yeah.
one. Mike, what's your high card?
Angelo's the high card. What is yours, Angelo?
125.
Come on. Let's get you on the board.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. He's smirking.
185.
Oh, my gosh.
Because I'm like, I had 122, Michael, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, right.
And then you came back trying to deny him his first win. That's not my
Call
fault.
it a comeback.
Well, you literally,
All right.
you came back.
I
You
did.
left and then you came back.
Twice. All right, yeah. Daily Sports Talk says, "Welcome back to your own live stream." Exactly. Yeah.
Well, big ups to StreamYard for not kicking me and Kevin out. That was awesome.
I know. I'm like,
that's amazing. That would have knocked us all out if we would have been on any other platform.
Yeah.
What next? Are we going back to 2020 baseball?
Yeah, back to 2020. Is it back to me?
Well, I won.
Oh, you won. You go. Yep. There you go.
Okay. So this would have been the pack that I would have opened if I didn't get eliminated.
There's a relic in there.
Yeah, really. That would have been the greatest thing ever.
Like, once he gets a relic, and I'm like, he's out. It's our show now. We took over your show for like 2.5 minutes.
Brian Abreu, Miguel Cabrera, Tyler Alexander, Daniel Murphy, Omar Narvaez, Reese McGuire. I think this is the guy. He actually had a very interesting offseason. Check him out. Matt Dice.
There you go. Nice. Prospect.
Dan Vogelbach. Oakland Athletics team card. Oakland Athletics, Robbie Grossman. League leaders, Anthony Rendon of your California Angels. No, Anaheim
Thank you for
Angels.
saying that, by the way.
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Daniel Polka. You guys need an identity. And speaking of identities, the Trout. All right.
There you go. I mean, I heard of that guy. Angelo had that card too. That guy's done it.
Go for it.
It's very appropriate that Trout's card number is number 1 also.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. Number 1. So you don't have to worry about him being.
Ichiban.
All right. Here we go. Jake Marsnick. Patrick Sandoval. David Fletcher, back-to-back Angels.
Yeah. Former Inland Empire 66er.
Nice.
Dan Vogelbach, which Mike just got as well.
Yep.
Hyunjin Ryu. Mike Clevinger. Billy Hamilton. Austin Barnes. Amir Garrett. Eduardo Rodriguez. Ryan Presley. Decade's best, CC Sabathia for the 2000s. Michael Baez and Roberto Osuna.
It's none of us have gotten the 85 version of these cards.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Like the first couple times we were getting like those in every pack.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe
Kevin, you're up.
Yes, sir. It's funny. I was talking about this guy earlier. I didn't know how to pronounce his name. Here he is again. Nico Horner.
Yep.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Michael. Because I was
he's a super good player. Right? He came up and he did it great last year.
Oh, okay, great. The man we call Dr. Zayas from Plan A, Justin Turner. Hopefully I didn't offend any Dodger fans. Sorry, but he looks like Dr. Zayas. Oscar Mercado. Oh, get your cups. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the wrong M. I saw an M, and I'm like, Brewers? Nope, Marlins. Garrett Cooper from the Marlins. Sorry. Darn. He's drinking anyway. Good job. Let's see here. Oh, this guy's all right. Mr. Shohei Ohtani.
Yes.
Ohtani Shohei.
Shohei. All right. Buster Posey. I mean, all of our favorite teams here. We have Jack Flaherty. A relation to Joe? Michael? Is it any?
I wish.
I wish too. Blue Jays, Brandon Drury. That's a deep comedy cut for those of you. Willie Adams. Is it Adam? Is that how it's pronounced?
I think it's Adames.
Adames. Okay, that makes sense. You have a team card of the Cubs. What's this one? I haven't seen this one yet. It says Tim and Yolmer from the White Sox. Here we go. Yep. Oh, here we go. I knew it was coming. I bet you 85. Here's a Chipper Jones, 85 edition.
Nice.
And then we got
Chipper Jones.
Yes. Andrew Benintendi. And Cesar Hernandez. And look up your high cards, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. And while you guys are looking that up, Robert Reimer asked, "Who do you guys like better, Mike Trout or Tim Salmon?"
I'm gonna go. Although I do prefer salmon over trout, and as far as fish go,
if you have fish,
yeah. In this case, Mike Trout or Tim Salmon, I would definitely go Mike Trout.
It's hard. You'd be hard pressed not to. Oh, 321.
That's got to be hard to beat, I would say. But oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, this Cubs card I have is 338. Oh, have it in there. I'm just
336. Wow. I thought I had it.
I was like, what? I thought Pete Alonso's still the kill card, right?
It's like, Pete Alonso's 350. Yeah.
Yeah. Pete Alonso's the kill card.
My God. Just racking up the L's.
I come back for this just to keep denying you guys. Sorry.
So we have one more, which is opening day.
Sure.
So it's only seven cards. Kevin, you're
going quick here. Sorry. We get yapped about baseball.
Like, what can you do, Angelo?
Number three.
Drink.
Number 3, man.
All right, another nose turn.
I might have to get another one myself here.
Kevin and Luke's. Get your cup. Well, I hope you have a beer ready because here's Brandon Woodruff. He seemed to be our most popular brewer in this Card Wars game.
Hey,
he's my favorite player at this point.
Any brewer is popular for me at this point.
That's right, exactly. Cheers. Oh, do I have the same pack as you? Here's Mr. Upton. Oh, sorry.
Straight ahead, Kevin. There you go.
Oh, Mr. Upton. I was like, ooh. And then you had Mr. Molina.
That's it.
So it's the same pack.
Could be.
You know, I'm like, is it real? Mitch Garver. And then lastly it's a baseball bat chandelier from Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that have you guys been to Safeco Field?
I have, but I don't remember seeing it.
It's in the atrium as you walk in, and they have this big atrium, and then if you look up, it's a baseball baseball bat like.
Yep.
Oh shoot, I missed that because I was walking around like the Seattle Mariner Hall of Fame like about a year ago is when I went over there. Shoot, that's a bummer. All right, who's next?
I only knew that because I went on the tour, and then they had you look up. It was pretty cool. Angelo, go for it.
No time for that.
I love ballpark tours, man. That's like my favorite.
Yeah, I didn't get you to do that.
While you're doing that, one of the things I found out on the ballpark tour, I went to Petco Park, and
yes,
I would have never known this had I not gone on the ballpark tour. They have so many. They have so little rainouts.
Yeah.
That they actually keep the tarp that they would put over the infield. They put it in the outfield in left field.
Wow.
So they never use it, right?
Right.
So this was about like maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
I'm glad you remember this because I heard this story when I did my tour.
They had this downpour and it like flooded. Okay, so like during game time, they went to go look for the tarp. They couldn't find it.
It
turns out they moved it to like the outfield, and then they lost all this time, and actually the infield got all like crazy. But it's like you wouldn't have known that had you not gone on the tour, and they would have told you that. It was really fascinating. Go for it.
All right, drink up, Brandon Woodruff.
Oh, wow.
Brandon Woodruff.
He's the brewer.
Thank you. Salud.
Mike, you're gonna want to pour another one because Josh Hader.
All right, Haterade, let's do it.
By the way, I'm drinking like a Gose that's like 9%. Oh gosh, this is my backup beer.
Go to bed beer.
Oscar
Ready.
Mercado. Lucas Giolito. Eloy Jimenez. I got gypped with a baseball card day advertisement
Oh,
card.
that's not going to help.
I've got one.
And then I got gypped with an insert Juan Soto
Nice.
sticker collection preview card.
Oh,
I don't think I've done
Angelo.
those yet. All right.
So I only got 5 cards.
Ah,
While
What
I
you
open my
got,
while I open my pack, Daily Sports Talk wants to know which was better, Randy Johnson hitting the dove or Kevin Lyons pulling down his pants. Not Kevin Lyons, the White Sox Lions.
There's no evidence. Sorry.
Which one was better? They both were pretty good.
Yes, they were.
I loved Randy Johnson hitting the dove. Man.
You know what? Because the bird.
The timing had to impeccable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Like,
did
what are
laugh
the odds?
harder. I laughed harder at Randy Lyons because
Right.
but I'm like
Pulling
I'm like,
pants down. I mean, that's
the horse is
hilarious.
like, oh, a bird just got hit. And I'm like, oh.
Where did that happen? Putting you guys on the spot. Where did that happen?
I don't even know.
On a baseball
Kevin?
field.
Yeah, on a baseball field.
Well played.
You're welcome.
Tiger Stadium.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Randall Grichuk.
Yes, sir.
Jamison Tyone. Sean Doolittle. Andres Munoz.
Well, I like the jersey.
Luis Arraez.
There you go. Good job rolling your R's too, sir.
Thank you. Mondragon. Charlie Morton. And Slider from the Cleveland
awesome.
Indians. I wasn't even aware that they even had a mascot named Slider.
I don't remember seeing Slider when I went to an Indian game. And I did the tour. All right, well,
I'll let you guys go first.
my high number is 130 for Mr. Molina. Yeah, you're Molina, 130.
My high card is Jamison Tyone at 182.
Oh, God. I got to look through my
153, Josh
Gee.
Hader.
I didn't get high cards at all in these opening day packs.
Still 0.
Okay. David
Still
Dahl.
0.
Are you
David
serious?
Dahl.
You did not win one of those?
No.
Because you came back.
Because you came back.
You jerk. I tried to help him.
It's
It didn't
okay.
work.
Sore subject.
Angelo.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. Trivia, right? All right.
Yes. Yeah, trivia. Okay, so trivia, everyone. I want everybody to get involved in the trivia. But by the way, Angelo, are you aware of a wrestler in the UWF in the 80s?
No.
UWF, which was like the Jim Ross. There was a wrestler named Mike Boyette.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I know that man.
You know who he is, Kevin Lyon?
Oh, yeah. He wrestled as the hippie at one point back in the 70s. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, the hippie guy.
Are you familiar with him?
No.
Okay.
Cornel Loser.
When you get a chance, look him up on yeah. You don't have to look up now.
I do know of a infamous disco machine who had a losing streak on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Don't have to talk about this.
And when he finally got the big one, it was a big moment. So I think I'm just waiting for that big moment.
I don't
I
even know
can't
who you're
wait
talking.
to see where Angelo beats you, Michael.
I'm not even sure of who that is.
I've held the disco ball or danced under the disco ball many a time.
Yes, you have. Yeah, that you have.
I've held it for him as well, or my masked friend has.
All right,
Trivia.
so let's see it again. All right, so I will definitely update.
Yes, sir.
These. Let me put this back here. Not just me. There we go. All right. So I will update those accordingly next time. Let me see.
I eliminated you, and yet you won like 2. So.
Yeah.
3.
I think 2 and 2,
You
right?
won, yeah, you went 2 and 2, and I went 2 and 2.
You won 2. Yeah.
Amazing.
And you lost 2 because I eliminated you for 1. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I lost 4. So what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big deal.
sorry.
Big
I'm
deal.
like Steve Lyons. I pulled down my pants and I just.
Oh, yeah,
wanted
I'm not
to
going to do that now. We're on the
All right. So let me move on to this. Make sure.
I'm glad you don't keep stats for the trivia. I'm glad you don't do that.
That's true.
All
right.
Which I thought I'd do good at, and
All
I
right.
don't.
Trivia, everyone. Test your knowledge of America's pastime. Another fun segment that people love. People love trivia. All right. What Hall of Fame pitcher threw the first pitch in modern World Series history? A. Christy Mathewson. B. Cy Young. C. Addie Joss. Or D. Rube Waddell?
My instinct hitting me instantly says Rube Waddell. I don't know why. Because I'm like, I know Christy Mathewson played in some early World Series, but my gut told me Rube Waddell, so I'll just go with it.
Oh, okay. Going with the gut.
Yeah, I don't
You know
know
what?
the
Steve Colbert taught me that, Michael. All right?
I don't know the answer for certain, but I'll go with A. Christy Mathewson.
I would think that's a good guess.
All right. Matt Massingham says
Uh-oh.
A as well.
Matt always has my back, man.
PJ looked it up. That tells me he's right.
Does anybody else in the comments have anything? I don't see anything.
Drum roll.
Daily Sports Talk also says A.
Uh-oh. Steve, there you go.
Well, Kevin,
Yeah.
you went with your gut.
And
you have acid reflux,
yeah,
right?
of course I do. Yes, sir.
If he went with his gut, it might have been that taco he ate right before we went in there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I gotta eat a dinner.
And pulling back the curtain.
Oh, we were
both
all
wrong.
The answer is Cy Young, October 1st, 1903, the very first World Series. Cy Young gave up 4 runs in the first inning in a complete game loss for Boston.
That seemed like the most obvious answer, which is why typically with trivia, and I don't know the answer, that's why I didn't go with it.
Thank you for throwing Boston there.
It makes total sense, though.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have known this either. It would have been a total guess for me. But then it's fun to like look up these trivia questions because it forces me to learn more about baseball and like the World Series in 1903. So it was the very first World Series. It was a best of 9, right. Which and they beat the Pirates. The Pirates are in the World Series. So if you think about that in these days terms, like what? But yeah, the Boston Americans beat the Pirates 5-3. So it's very, very interesting to learn about the history of baseball, and then more when I look into this kind of stuff. It's super fascinating. So I love doing these questions because it actually like forces us to learn about these great players.
Doing that one, no one got that one right. Not even the people who gave comments.
Yeah.
Good job.
So, question 2.
All right. I gotta do the
Okay. 6 players have gone deep in at least 40 stadiums. Who has the most all time? So I only picked 4 out of this one. So the top 4.
Do you mean? Wait. I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand the most all time what? Stadiums? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So all these players have hit home runs in at least 40 stadiums, but one of them has done it more than anyone else.
So I'm gonna go with Ken Griffey Jr. And I don't know the answer for certain, but my logic behind it is time frame played. I think Griffey played in a time where there was a big boom in new stadiums in the early mid 90s. So I will go with B, Ken Griffey Jr.
Ooh,
God, it's hard
to
to
also go with All Angels podcast as well.
It's
also Matt Massingham.
Yeah.
And
it's
Daily
really hard
Sports
to
Talk.
argue against that. Everyone's saying Griffey. 'Cause I'm trying to think too. I'm like, one thing that's interesting about this is this. I was thinking like it's got to be a guy who would play in interleague ball, but most of these guys are playing in an era where still that wasn't happening as much.
By the way, can I acknowledge that Ellis Burks is on this list?
Yes.
How amazing is that?
But you know what I love even more? Your photo of it is him in a Rockies jersey. I'm like, he played on the Rockies?
Yeah.
That was going to be on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, I know he had a bunch of home runs in Colorado, but that doesn't help me figure out the other 45 stadiums he would have hit in.
Yeah.
God dang. Ugh. I feel like I want to pick a different answer just to be a jerk and just because we can't be united on one thing. So I'm gonna go with Fred McGriff because he played on the Blue. I believe he played on the Blue Jays and the Braves. That's a multitude of stadiums in the same way that
That's a good pick.
I played less in the National League. So I'm gonna go with Fred McGriff.
He also played for the Rays.
Yeah.
Yes, he played in both leagues. So that would have to be a factor in this. Ellis Burks could surprise us all here.
Yep. So Daily Sports Talks because he's lefty and pulls the ball.
But you know what? It matters if you play in the American and National League in this era. Look at these guys. That's what it comes down to for me for figuring out an answer.
Yep.
And I think Fred McGriff played more in both leagues than Griffey.
And the answer is Sammy Sosa.
Wow.
45.
I didn't think it would have been Sammy because I don't remember him playing the American League so much.
See,
he played for the Rangers.
Yeah, but that was when he first came up. I didn't think he was.
But no, he played at the end of his career. He hit his 600th home run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, again, you know, I think with just like with the first question, that's like the most obvious answer based on, you know,
number of home runs.
The number of home runs, right?
That's my first logic was it's your savior Ken because they had the most home runs. But I'm like, you know what? I don't remember him being in the American League so much. But there you go. Wow. Thank you.
I mean, Mike Piazza's on there and played for both teams' National League teams. So that's a feat. Sheffield as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the one that really sticks out is Ellis Burks, right?
Totally, right?
Who's the odd man out in that list?
Like I said, I don't even remember him.
Perennial Hall of Famers and you know, so but yeah, I mean, again, Sammy was the obvious answer, and you know, man, I mean, I guess next time maybe I go with the obvious answer.
You killed everybody because every single person who commented agreed with Angelo on both questions, and we were all still wrong.
Well, my logic was good, and so was yours, right?
Yeah,
and the thought process, right?
But that's the whole thing is, I mean, that's what it's so great about trivia as well. It's like you think that you know like baseball, and then all of a sudden it's like, what happened? Ellis Burks, but even like Fred McGriff, think about that. It's like, you know, he had a long enough career where he can play. You know, there's only 30 stadiums, so like, you know, the fact that there's more stadiums out there, so that he would have played at the Astrodome and Minute Maid Park, or, you know, like that type of deal. So, actually, no, I don't think he would have played it there, but that's not a good analogy. But anyway,
there's two Atlanta Fields in that period.
Right,
so
exactly.
There's some that switched around like that. There was two Colorado Fields around that same time period, probably because they went from Mile High to Coors Field.
Oh, that's right. And even
parts. Depending on when you get Jays, you know,
Florida, where the Marlins played, you know, stuff like that. So they're very interesting. Shea Stadium to Citi Field and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was in early 2000s. So yeah.
And for those of you, I definitely had it. If we're going to talk about Sammy Sosa, I have to make mention of this. For those of you who wanted to know what Sammy Sosa is doing these days, this is actually him. So, and from what I understand, he actually puts cream. He says that he put cream on it that actually lightened it up. So he admitted to it, I believe. But this is what he looks like now.
I would think he's suffering from some pigment disease. Looking at that, you know what I mean? Like a Michael Jackson who went to such a lighter skin color later in his life. But
that's exactly what I thought as well too. Yeah. And so real quick, let's go back to this.
Yes, sir.
Like how many players? There's two Hall of Famers here. Let's see. Yeah.
Only two?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess Griffey and
Piazza and Griffey. So
Griffey's not in yet. Sheffield, I mean, Sammy may not get in because there's speculation about him.
It's a cream. It's a cream.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I mean, my first guess would have been chicken and rice, but hey, cream. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
600 home runs in the 600 home run club, and not even considered for the Hall of Fame. That's incredible. All right. So wrapping up, this is the one to grow on. Kevin, I'm super glad that you're here today because you can help me with this.
Oh, okay.
Kevin and I belong to this group called the Baseball Reliquary. Right? Am I saying that correctly?
Okay.
And it's out of Pasadena, California, and we go to the Shrine of the Eternals. It's a ceremony, so we both belong to this. We're members in it, and it only costs $25 to be a part of it. And one of the great things about it is it's a nonprofit educational organization dedicated to fostering an appreciation for the American art and culture through the context of baseball history and to exploring the national pastime's unparalleled creative possibilities. You can check it out at baseballreliquary.org. How long ago did we join? Like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Kevin?
I joined about a year before you. I think the
That's
first
right.
year I went would have been 2016 or 2017. Because a mutual friend of ours told us about it. I'm like, wow, what is this? And we're looking into it, and they do exhibits at different libraries and places like that in and around LA and Orange County. And you go to the library in Glendale, and there's an exhibit on Cuban baseball. I'm like, what is this? And you just see like a few cases of stuff about Cuban baseball. Like, oh, that's cool. And they actually have a center. I mean, it's probably not right now, obviously, but at Whittier College, they actually have a place called like studies. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a studies for baseball. You can go in there and just on your own, just go to this library, go to this center, and you can look up baseball history for whatever artifacts that they have there and books and stuff.
Yeah,
And,
Go ahead. I wanted to do a video on it. This is before all the pandemic stuff. I wanted to go check it out and actually show everybody. But it's a library at Whittier College that's dedicated to baseball, and it's really fantastic. So we should definitely make a field trip when this is all over, obviously.
Yep.
And obviously do a brewery afterwards because why not?
Well, there's one in Whittier.
Exactly. So the Shrine of the Eternals. They just had their 2020 balloting, so they're adding 3 to this, which I will mention in just a second. But these are the names that are in. Now, for the Shrine of the Eternals it's a Hall of Fame. It's like a Hall of Fame honor. But these players and people who
there's not just players here. If you look at the list.
Well, that's what I was going to mention is they're not just players. I mean, it's people that have contributed to baseball that maybe you wouldn't know about, that have done extraordinary things. Like, for instance, Charlie Brown is in this.
Which I'll tell you, I went to a ceremony, and it was actually Charles M. Schultz's son accept the award on behalf of the family, which was really fun.
Who is Ted Gianolas? Yes.
Oh, that would be kayfabe. Yes. I think you're gonna make me tell who he is. Hang on, I'll show you who he is. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you, so I don't have to.
Wow, look at that. The San Diego Chicken. Yeah. So we actually saw the famous. We actually saw him speak. So again, like Lisa Fernandez is more known for softball, but like her contributions to just hardball and just anything in general. Pam Postema, which was, I believe, the first woman umpire, right? So there's a lot of people here that have contributed to the game more than you would expect.
Yeah. Well, so one we got was, sorry, you're going to this year's. I was going to mention there was a woman, Nancy Fouts, we saw, who was like the organist for the White Sox and the Bulls in Chicago, to where she was there for like 20 years straight, and she only missed like a day or two because she gave birth to like her kids. And she's the one who more or less started using the "Na Na Na Hey Goodbye" song by Steam in a baseball game, that being like universally used in sports. She revolutionized using popular music in sports, more or less.
So these are the 2020 inductees. Now there will be no ceremony this year. They have postponed it, obviously due to the pandemic. So it'll be 2021 that they will have that class be inducted in, and then also acknowledge these. So Rube Foster, who he's basically responsible. What was he on the ballot for 22 years or 22?
Oh my God, yeah. And
So-
he created what was known as the Negro National League, which was like the first nationwide Negro baseball league. And it was created in 1920. So literally, it was the 100-year anniversary of that. So there was a real push to get him in this year, and he made it.
And Max Patkin, the clown prince of baseball, if you watch Bull Durham, he's literally in the first 5 minutes of it. I actually have a funny story, which I will reveal now. When I was a bat boy for the Phoenix Giants in 1985, one of the games that I walked into, I actually walked into the clubhouse. There was a naked Max Padkin sitting on a stool, ready, just chatting it up. Anybody who wanted to talk baseball, what he used to do is he used to travel around to different minor league parks. He was commissioned, and what he would do is during one inning, he would actually base coach for each team. So he would do his kind of like routine. He was kind of like, think of Jerry Lewis or Jim Carrey. He was a real physical type of comedian. A lot of people didn't like him. They thought he detracted from the game. But I loved him because he was really great. Like, for instance, he had a lot of, it was almost like watching like a salty comedian base coaching for you.
Right.
Like he would go, like if a guy was like number 36, he would go, all right, come on 18, let's do it. Half-ass hitter. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? And it was really fun to watch him. He had a lot of like really kind of herky-jerky mannerisms and stuff like that. Like, Jerry Lewis or Jim Carrey.
Hold on, don't
Bob
forget.
Costas,
Can you tell his jersey number, please?
his jersey number was actually a question mark.
Thank you.
Which was hand drawn in, of course.
Awesome.
So he was around for a long time, and one of those kind of characters of baseball, and that's what this Shrine of the Eternals is all about. It's like the characters of the game, but also Bob Costas was also inducted. I think more for his his longevity in baseball, his giving to baseball, his broadcasting career. He was also, on a separate note, he was also a part of the St. Louis Spirits of the ABA, which we like to make mention of.
Are we going to tell that story?
Yes.
Are you
Go
going
for
to do it? So the St. Louis Spirit was an ABA team, and there's a book about the history of the ABA, and there was a famous story where this trucker said he almost completely trashed his truck on the road because there was Spirits were in the lead in a game late in the game, and their team was coming back. And Bob Costas said on the air, "Oh, the Spirit are ahead. Let's hope that they don't have a repeat of last week's blow job." I was like, "Oh no, Angelo's taking a drink while I say that." I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
and then this guy who said he was driving the truck veered off the road when he heard that. Now, that's in like the 70s where you're not going to hear anything like that on the air.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a famous club early in Bob Costas' career.
So another thing that they do is they induct a certain amount of people. We all vote on it. And we voted, both of us, Kevin, we both voted for Rube Foster and Max Patkin. We did not put any votes for Bob Costas, but he still made it in.
Yeah, he was on the cusp of getting in. So,
and so they also have the Hilda Award recipient. This year is Jeff Bujukis. I hope that I'm saying that correctly. But the Hilda Award is established in 2001 in memory of Hilda Chester, the legendary Brooklyn Dodgers fan. Yeah.
Where's my bell?
And so Kevin, like at the beginning of it, everybody rings the bell. There you go. Yep. Kevin with his Quad City River Bandits bell that I got him in Davenport, Iowa. Yeah. And it is basically a fan that is that goes above and beyond. And this guy's goal was to get a game-used bat from each Red Sox non-pitcher who had an at-bat for the Red Sox from 1960 to present. Yeah. So an amazing type of, I mean, like, who would think of that? I think that's pretty...
you have a slide talking about how many he has? Do you have no slide about this?
I don't,
okay.
but...
So I will tell you, because I read about this guy. So you see that's literally all bats around him. He said there's only one that he was unable to get, and it was a guy who had a couple of bats on the 60-70 team, which actually made the World Series. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the guy's name. But doing research, finding out about this guy, it turned out that they never got this guy a ring for being on the team.
Oh, my gosh.
So he got a ring for being on the Red Sox and they made it to the World Series. And because of all this guy's research, they actually made a ring, and the player unfortunately passed away, and I'm sorry I don't remember the guy's name, but they actually made a ring to give to his family after the fact.
Oh, how interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah. So
now,
yeah,
Angelo,
one person.
I'm going to ask you real quick. Why are the bats in this configuration?
Oh,
do you have a guess?
I wouldn't even know. Only way they can all fit.
I love schooling the youngins. This is one of my favorite things about being old.
Well, enlighten us, sir, because I don't have a clue.
My best, really, you're gonna kick yourself.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Well, it looks like stitching stitching the way it's arranged there.
He's from Boston. Boston Garden.
Oh,
the parquet floor.
There you go. Because the way it's arranged, it's just like, you have, okay, yeah.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
That's really funny. Wow. Yeah, and the Red Sox work with him using some of his bats for like exhibits too.
Yeah, and so his collection is really incredible.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I had this because they also had the Tony Salin Memorial Award, and Bob Busser won it in 2019. Yeah. This award has been established in 2002 to recognize individuals for their commitment to the preservation of baseball history. And I love this award because I like to think that we're doing a similar thing. We're really celebrating it, but we're also preserving the history of it. Just talking about things that that I feel like people have kind of lost. I mean, the history of the game it's out there, but it's like I think it should be talked about. I could talk about it for the rest of my life, and I can't wait to talk about it for the rest of my life with you guys. And when you go into this guy's, if you go to ballparks.smugbug.com, it is insane the amount of pictures, and he's gone to everything, not just baseball parks, but every arena. I looked up Arizona alone because it was listed first. Like, he has everything. Like, I can't, and they're not like crappy pictures. They're really good pictures. So he has done this. So over 43 years, 75,000 images. I mean, because think about it, this is old Tiger Stadium, this picture right here. Like, Tiger Stadium is just a concept to me, but he literally went in when no one was in there and took different angles of it. And it is really, really super amazing to see just a thing. So this is the 2019 winner, right? So, of course, today they announced that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
News to me.
And I believe his name is Alex Blelf, and I'm hoping that I'm saying that correctly. And I was really happy to learn about him. This guy goes through like periodicals, so like magazines and different types of anything that's like physical, and puts up digitally these articles that if that magazine was lost, that article would be gone.
Wow.
So he actually goes through, like, he works for, he's an editor of Esquire Classic, but he also has, it's called the stacksreader.com, and they have a baseball section. to go through some of the things on there, and this guy is not followed. It's not like a huge social media thing. Like a lot of people don't know about this guy. Like if you go through his archive of articles, it is a who's who of baseball history. This guy is doing a thankless job, which is crazy. There was a Bad News Bears article that I saw in there that I mean I couldn't believe. Like I'm just like, this would have been lost had I not known about it. He actually has it all documented, and it is literally a labor of love. A perfect example of the of what the Shrine of Eternals is all about. Celebrating these people that give back to the game. There was a guy last year, I believe he was the memorial. I'm not sure if he was the Hilda Award recipient, but
It have to be, yeah, because Tony Yatsu won it last year. I can't remember.
Kevin, who was the guy who actually went to all the baseball stadiums?
Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh no, Wilhelm was his last.
I know
name.
I'm putting you on the spot, but there was a guy who literally he would go everywhere. He's gone to every baseball stadium there is in.
I remember his last name Wilhelm. I can't remember his first name, but that's what he was being chronicled for. Like he went to like 1,000 stadiums. It sounds like. I feel like I'm exaggerating. It was something insane like that over the course of his lifetime.
And even accepting his award, he still was making his way to stadiums.
Yeah,
So,
in and around that trip to come to Pasadena to accept his award, he was doing a trip for it. I was like, oh my God, this is like the life I want, you know?
Totally, and that was what was so awesome about this. Like, this inspires me to be a lot more.
Bart Wilhelm is his name. I knew his last name was Bart Wilhelm. Was the guy who he won in 2018. So I'm
2018.
Sorry. Yes, yeah. So I'm like, wait. I'm like, who won the Hilda Award last year? Like, shoot, I'm off a year. But Bart Wilhelm was.
So, it's like, who would have known? Like, I mean, not that I'm looking to win an award or anything, but the fact that someone is acknowledged for doing this craziness is like insane. So we have something to aspire to in what 30 or 40 years.
Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm gonna get Angelo in trouble. The award winner last year was a gentleman by the name of Ralph Carhart. So he had a baseball that.
Oh right.
Yeah, the baseball where he somehow got a photo of every Hall of Famer. And some of the people weren't alive. He would go take this ball to their grave and get a photo of this ball with this grave. Where the goal was to get something involving every single Hall of Famer with that ball, tie it in together. And I believe he got, if not everybody, very close to it. And he tried to submit the ball to Cooperstown, and they wouldn't take it.
They wouldn't take it.
Yeah, they wouldn't take it. They thought it was too weird. But the Reliquary, we'll take it in. Like, yeah, I would too. You know,
super crazy. So that's why Kevin and I are super excited, and especially to put it out there. We really want people to support this and be a part of it. Angelo, obviously, we'd love you to be a part of this. I'm sure that you'd like to be a part of this.
Yes, I will absolutely become the newest active member of the Baseball Reliquary.
And we will definitely give you the links to that at the end of this again. So one of the things that we like to do is Kevin and I have some really like people that are in our heart that we always put out there. One of them is Charlie Pride. If you're not familiar with Charlie Pride, during the peak years of his recording career, he garnered 52 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, 30 of which made it to #1. But in the early 50s, he actually pitched for the Memphis Red Sox of the Negro American League and in the New York Yankees farm system. So the fact that when I heard, I knew Charlie Pride. I mean, I just knew him just from, being old. But the fact that he played in the Negro Leagues and also for a farm team of the Yankees blew my mind.
Right.
And think about this. His baseball career didn't work out, so he went into music. I was like, what?
Right. He actually went into the Army And he actually had arm trouble. He actually tried to make a comeback, which is actually that's what this picture is, with the same team that he kind of started with, and he didn't make it. So he actually, if I'm not mistaken, he actually had a good singing voice. So he did the national anthem, and so he actually started doing more singing stuff, and this is what it turned into. So can you imagine? An amazing story.
Yeah, and I will add, I don't know if he still is, but I know at one point he was like a minority owner of the Texas Rangers. As of
I totally forgot about that. Right. Yeah. So another personal one. If you're, I want to know in the comments, does anybody know Fred Merkle? If you don't, we will definitely we'll do a segment on it because I think it's one of the greatest stories in baseball history. Although he had a lengthy career, he is best remembered for a controversial base stealing mistake, actually base running mistake, not stealing. While still a teenager in 1908, he was 19 years old. At that time, the youngest player in National League history. The base running error that became known as Merkle's boner and earned him the name of Bonehead, which crazy. Can you imagine? The Cubs went on to win the World Series in 1908, their last one before 2016. If not for this guy, the Cubs may not have won for possibly 200 years or whatever it may be. So, Angelo, are you familiar with Fred Merkle?
I'm not familiar with Merkle's boner.
It's lived with me for so long that I definitely want to put it out there, and I can't wait to talk about Merkle's boner.
There you go.
Another one is Jesse Cole. Now, that's why I'm wearing the Savannah Bananas shirt.
I wouldn't mind if I'd known you were going to bring him up here.
Well, I was hoping that you would, but it's okay that you didn't because I enjoy the churros. I actually was going to go to Myrtle Beach either this year or last year. Jesse Cole is a founder of Fans First Entertainment and the owner of the Savannah Bananas in the Coastal Plain League. It is an independent league. Since 2016, his teams have welcomed more than 1 million fans to their ballparks and been featured on many media outlets. The Savannah Bananas currently have sold out every game for 3 straight seasons and have a waiting list of thousands for tickets. I know this because when I was looking it up to go back there, I could not get tickets. That's how in demand these seats were. Jesse Cole has been a really out front person. You can find him on Twitter. The Savannah Bananas obviously have. I had to get this right away because it was such a cool thing. I got one for Kevin as well, and it really had me aware of the Savannah Bananas. They wear like all yellow outfits. He actually walks through the crowd and hypes them up. They have a really great thing.
And he's dressed like that
he's dressed like that all the time. Yep. And he has created this really great culture of baseball and really celebrated baseball. He is a nominee that we both put in for, and we really want him to go up the ballot because he is really raised the awareness of baseball, but also like he's all in. Literally wears this every single day. And one of the great things about it is about 160 miles away they're in Savannah, Georgia. 160 miles away is Macon, Georgia, home of the Macon Bacon. The Savannah Bananas' big rival is the Macon Bacon, and they make it seem like the World Series. It is absolutely awesome. If you're not aware of this, I hope that you are now, because Kevin and I, we really cannot wait to go to this. And if we ever make trips back east, we try to make this. Angelo,
I'm excited to see independent baseball. I was like, oh my God, I want to check this out.
Absolutely. Angelo, are you aware of this? Are you aware of this at all?
I knew of the Savannah Bananas, primarily because he was the first minor league team that said, "Hey, we're gonna open and play." During this pandemic, right? Was not aware of the Macon Bacon, but man, forget the mega powers. Just combine the Macon Bacon and the Savannah Bananas to become the Bacon Wrap Bananas.
Oh, that's,
And you
that's
and you got the brother
Savannah,
big
that's
right there.
hard to unite those two cities, man.
Yeah,
It's gonna be hard. That's a hard rivalry to unite, brother. But look at
Wow.
Jesse, live the gimmick, brother.
They live in the gimmick 24/7.
Yep.
That's awesome. And you know, we actually got our first it's too long of a question to address here, but we actually had a Twitch question which we will address probably in another episode. And we actually got a Periscope actually comment, which I'm very happy and thank you for joining us. We will definitely address this in the next episode as well. But this is the one that I definitely wanted to make.
Thank you.
He's been on the ballot, and I voted for him this year, but he did not make it.
Same here.
This is Chris von der Ahi, I believe. I hope it's Ahi.
I don't know what to pronounce.
Yeah.
His family's gonna get you.
The German-American entrepreneur, best known as the owner of the St. Louis Brown Stockings, which was actually turned into the St. Louis Cardinals. Amazing to know that the St. Louis Cardinals back then is not the team that you would have bought if you had actually had a bunch of money. The Cardinals were actually scandal-ridden at the time. But Chris noticed that a number of his patrons that visited his saloon after baseball games bought. Actually, came because of beer. They actually, and so he took a very active role in the team after buying them for $1,800. And he didn't know anything about baseball, but knew that he could sell concessions, and he made a killing on it, and possibly could have been the very first one to sell beer. So,
wow.
Salute to my man.
I'm dry, but cheers.
That's why I vote for him every year, Michael. Every year I vote for him.
So possibly the first man to ever sell beer. And it's been debated that he was the first one to sell hot dogs, but he definitely sold concessions and saw a way to sell different things. His team started actually doing well. They won championships. But then they started falling off, and it became a mess. It's so funny because the younger people, Daily Sports Talk says who. Exactly. So as old guys, we have to talk about the history of baseball because it's so. These are all stories that need to be told, and Kevin and I, we definitely wanted to make sure that this guy got in because hey, it wouldn't be Beer Baseball if it wasn't for this guy.
That's true.
So he was the guy who started it all. Salud.
It was an empire for him, bringing beer and baseball together. And now look, here we are. 30 years later? Almost 140 years later. Wow. Yeah.
All right. So that is, we've gone over an hour and a half now. These shows are going to be like, they're going to be like movies.
We're in Angelo trouble here.
Well, somebody actually put in the question, who sold the first Cracker Jack? I'm not sure. I would say this guy, potentially.
This guy, for sure.
Yeah. Until we find out otherwise, I'm going with this guy. So thank you for joining me. We actually, I know this is not the way we wanted to end with a rest in peace. 2 people have actually died since we had the last episode. 1 confirmed, actually. Hana Kimura, which was a wrestler in Stardom, and Shad Gaspard. Angelo, you actually have a story about Shad.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to work with Shad a few times, throughout my time in wrestling, and interacted quite a few times. Our very first interaction, I'll never forget. Kind of shows that his lightheartedness and really, it's the type of fun-loving guy he is. He was I've worked with him about 3 or 4 times, and all times he was a last-minute fill-in, which I think is awesome that he'd be willing to step up and do that also. But he was a I was announcing, but I was also in charge of music to the show and probably one other thing. I mean, who knows what else that was, but
Yeah.
always wore a lot of hats. And so he showed up. I was, just about showtime. Hey man, do you have any music? He's like, oh man, just play whatever for me. I was like, okay, cool. So, he has tattoos and he was wearing a hat when he walked in the building. So I said, hey, have you ever heard the song Snapbacks and Tattoos? This is a song by Dricky Graham back in 2011, 2012. I can't even remember what year the show was. And he's like, hey, is that a rap song? And I go, yeah. And he's like, oh. He's like, so what makes you think I want to come out to a rap song?
Wow.
And he's like, what if I want to come out to some Bach or to some Mozart? And I was like, oh man, I didn't, I don't mean, Chad's a big guy, man. 6'7", 6'8", over 300 pounds. So I'm like, oh,
Wow.
no disrespect. Yeah, I was like, hey man, no disrespect, man. He's like, the man, and he just showed that $1 million smile. So man, I'm just messing with you, man. Hey, I'm cool with whatever. So I ended up playing that song, came out, and when I was leaving for the night, I was getting in my car and I heard this voice, Angelo. And I turned around and just Shad in his car, pulling out of the parking lot. So, hey man, he's like, what was the name of that song that you had me come out to tonight? I go, Snapbacks and Tattoos. He's like, man, he's like, good choice, man. I like that one. So now every time I saw him, the 3-4 times subsequently after that, he's like, hey man, you're gonna play some Mozart or Bach for me tonight. So again, great guy, and always a pleasure to work with. Class act, and you hear a lot of these stories, working with former guys from the WWE on the independents, and the type of ego or attitude they have, and this guy was far from it. And those that aren't familiar with the story, he was caught up in a riptide swimming in the ocean in Venice Beach, and he was with his 10-year-old son, and the lifeguards came out, and he said, take my son first and come back for me. And unfortunately, when they went back out for him, he wasn't there. So being a father of 3 young boys definitely hits close to home. And, this man died a hero. So.
Yeah. I mean, what a great story that is. And what a great memory that you'll always have. And I'm sure you won't be able to listen to that song ever again without, thinking of that.
Absolutely.
Fantastic story. Kevin, did you know? Now, Hana was a second generation star from Kyoko Kimura, right?
I knew of Kyoko, and because she, no, she never came out here, but she was around the time we were wrestling, because obviously as a child who was, only 22 years old, it's like, God, it's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
You can go ahead and talk about Hana, but.
Yeah, it breaks my heart because, I mean, at the risk of outing myself, I'm not ashamed that I'm 50 years old. Not ashamed of it at all. I mean, it's one of those great things that I get to do. I still have a huge head of hair, so I'm okay with it.
I turned 45 in a month, so
there you go. Exactly.
Hey man, I'm much younger than you guys, and I have
exactly.
So I mean, I'll brag about it. I don't care. I feel like it's a badge of honor to make it to this age, and I really get to celebrate baseball and wrestling and everything that I love. And I have a 18-year-old son, so Hana was obviously a little bit older than that. But just looking at that 1997, looking at 1981, I think about what was I doing when I was 27? What was I doing when I was 21?
Yeah.
That's when they were born, and that they made an impact while they were here. It's super sad to see that they're gone. I didn't know Shad as well as you did, Angelo. But from every account that I got, he was a class act, and I really wish I had a chance to meet him. Hana, I mean, if you look at her, she had everything, and she would have been a star if she came to WWE, if Io Shirai, if Asuka were stars in WWE, she would have been. I mean, the sky was the limit.
Yep.
So sad to see that, especially in these times when, you look for good news and not bad news. So definitely wanted to acknowledge both of these great people.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for everything. And again, like our wrestling connection, I will definitely say this, like our wrestling connection has brought us together, but our baseball connection will keep us together forever. So salute. So that is our show for today. Again, please like and subscribe. Angelo, do you, I will go over these before, but Angelo, do you have anything that you wanted to promote?
Nothing I want to promote, but again, always a pleasure to be a part of this, and always a great time drinking and hanging with you guys. So I appreciate it, and until next week.
Kevin?
If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Locknloll. That's LOKNLOLL. See whatever I'm up to. Also, just like say every week, support your local brewery, support your local business during all this, because they need your help more than some of these other bigger places.
100% agree. We're going to do this every week because, everybody's loved it, but it also gives us a little peace of mind. We get to talk about the things that we love.
Yeah.
We get to drink craft beer and let you know about it. Thank you so much. You guys can always find us on Twitter. Just look up Beer Baseball. Facebook, look up Beer Baseball Blog. YouTube, we are Beer Baseball Blog. And Instagram, Beer Baseball. Give us a like and a follow. We're doing fun stuff. We're trying to keep this consistent. We're trying to grow. We're actually almost up to 250 subscribers on YouTube. Our goal is 1,000, and all we need is 1,000 to make a difference. So tell your friends about us. Please help us with All Angels podcast. Actually, I gave us all a thumbs up. They're super awesome. There's so many things I want to do with Halo Haven and All Angels podcast. So thank you for joining us. Angelo, Trinidad, Kevin, Lyon, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure, and we will see you next week. We won't see you at the stadium. We won't see you at the brewery, but we'll see you here next week, 5 p.m. PST. Thank you so much. Peace.
Good night.